everybody. Pandy here of Pandy's Hair, Candy, and More. Welcome and thank you so much for tuning in to my recap of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 14, Episode 1. So, I want to thank you for taking a moment to click on this video. If you all are like me, I have been watching The Housewives for years. But I will say that the last couple of years, I haven't been tuning in as much, and it's been a bit hit or miss. But with this being the start of a new season, I wanted to tune in and give them a fair shot to kind of see, just how things were going. I was also very excited because I seen that they had Miss Sheree coming back, also Marlo Hampton getting a peach. So I was really excited to tune in. So without further ado, again, thank you for tuning in to my recap and review on tonight's episode. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to first bring you all up to speed on who the cast is. So for the cast this year, Season 14, Episode 1, we have Kandi Burruss, we have Kenya Moore, Drew Sidora, which is a return wife. We have Miss Sheree Whitfield, and then of course we have Marlo Hampton. Now, who finally got her peach. She has been a friend to the show for years. And they also had another new addition, a track star, Sanya Richards Ross. She's a four-time Olympic gold medalist, and she has pretty much joined the cast full time. So, now, although she is new to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, she's definitely not new to the Atlanta scene or reality TV at all. She's pretty much married to former NFL cornerback Aaron Ross. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, she is a four-time Olympic gold medalist. Okay, now we know that Portia Williams and Cynthia Bailey announced their departures from the Bravo show earlier last month. Bailey said that later on she had been offered a friend role rather than being a main cast mate and pretty much decided to call it quits. Williams' departure was a bit rare as well because she ended up with her own spinoff. Somewhat similar to some of the other housewives. So, just giving you guys a little bit of the backstory just in case you aren't familiar with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, in tonight's episode, we pretty much started off by seeing Kenya Moore, that is, rehearsing at a dance studio with Brandon Armstrong. He is her, or was her, dancing coach while she was in LA for Dancing with the Stars. Of course, we do know now, because this was before production, that she didn't make it, but she did go pretty far, but she didn't make it. So she's back in Atlanta. She's there having what seems to be a good time and doing a little bit of crushing on Mr. Brandon Armstrong. Now, one by one, the ladies started arriving at the studio there. First, of course, we see Kandi. Then we see Marlo, who is very happy to share with her that her edge transplant is working for her. And it was a little kiki because, of course, in previous seasons, the shade was also real with all the ladies coming for Marlo about her edges or her lack thereof. Now, Marlo is letting the ladies know that her project, La Archive, is off to a booming start and she's planning this grand launch and that she wants all the ladies to be pretty much on board in supporting her endeavors, right? Now, she kind of explains to the ladies that this is an exclusive company that does industry rentals. basically stating that all of the fabulous, amazing pieces of clothing, jewelry, accessories that she has attained over a 20-year period, she will be exclusively renting out to celebrity clients and TV show sets, film sets, and, something like a celebrity type rental agency, I guess. And she's charging like 25% of the retail value. So she had pieces that like Beyonce, Rihanna, just different pieces she picked up in Paris, Spain, all these different places over the years, right? You guys know Marlo is over the top. So that is her project and her business, La Archive. She's trying to open that up there exclusively to the celebrity clientele there in the ATL. Kandi kind of shades the heck out of Marlo in her confessional, pretty much still stating that no one really knows how Marlo makes her money. And I don't think we ever will. We all pretty much kind of got our own idea, but it hasn't been confirmed. But I'll digress. She does shade her though in the confessional. And then, of course, in walks Sheree. Now, Sheree, I couldn't remember if they said Sheree is still dating or if she's now married to Tyrone. Now, if you are a longtime avid fan of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know that Sheree was dating Tyrone, what was that, 4 years ago? And I think he ended up getting locked up and had to go do some time, right? And so basically now she shares with the ladies that he is now paroled home. So they go to asking her, what you mean paroled home? Here in Atlanta? And she's like, no, paroled home to Philly. So of course they're all giving her the side eye, looking like, what? Okay. Her and Kenya also seem to be getting along well. So this was a good thing, right? It's also shared that Sheree visits Tyrone twice a month in Philly, but she also shares that she's not having sex with him. So Kenya shares that she's not fully divorced from Mark yet. And they're all like, what? It is just like, a time of reacquainting, I guess, while they're all there in the studio. So they all, of course, have questions like, Kenya, what's the hold up? Why aren't you divorced yet? And she divulges that he just simply won't sign the papers. Okay? Now, Kandi shares that her and Todd are still in a good space, but that sex in their sex life has been a bit on the back burner at the moment. Of course, Marlo is like, girl, you need to get that together. Now, next, we are over at Marlo's. And at Marlo's house, she is actually taking care of raising her nephews. It appears that their mother, who is Marlo's sister, is locked up, okay? So she's calling herself the Momty, which is a combination of mom and auntie. She's trying basically to do right by them while their mother is away. Next, we get a chance to meet Drew and her husband Ralph. And it's interesting because Ralph is kind of bragging about how he played basketball at Rutgers, but when they ask her in the confessional what position he played, she literally has no idea. And she calls him on speakerphone, and that's when he has to admit that he was only on the team. He didn't actually play. Next, we meet Sanya and her husband, and they actually meet up with Drew and her husband to work out. Now, Sanya and her husband Aaron seem to be, they have a good relationship. He's actually an ex NFL player. I think I mentioned that earlier. And as they're in the gym working out, Sanya and Drew kind of have this banter over who the real athlete is out of the two of them. And of course, there was some light shade thrown. But again, it was, it was light. It was light. It wasn't nothing major. But she kind of does a bit of talking. Like, Drew had a little bit of diarrhea of the mouth because she literally just blurted out to Sanya that she suspects that her husband may either be currently or previously cheating with his assistant. Now, I don't know how that came up, but she was like literally giving out TMI at the gym. So later on, at Kenya's, we see that her and little baby girl Brooklyn are playing house for Brandon, the Dancing with the Stars coach, when all the ladies at once receive their evite. Literally, a lady shows up with a laptop, and it's Marlo's invitation on like Skype or Zoom, and she's inviting them to her grand launch of La Archive. So next we go to Sonya's, and we find out and we learn that basically she's been in the ATL for about a year, and her Jamaican parents also live with them, which they look great, by the way. I think her father and mother were very nice looking people. You could tell they were well seasoned in age, but they were great looking people. I don't know why I took notice of that, and I love their Jamaican accents. But anywho, um, they've been married 11 years, but together for 18 years. And the hubby seems a little, I don't know, you could clearly tell something was bothering him. And we learned in that little scene that they have the one child, but he definitely is kind of pressuring her to have another child. Now, next we go back to Drew's house, and they're kind of preparing for the ladies to come by. She's trying to pitch her meal prep company to Kandi and Sanya, because Kandi, of course, owns a chain of old lady gang restaurants, and then Sanya, being the four-time gold medalist and this athlete, I guess she wants to get their opinion of her meal prep service. So anyway, Drew's husband's assistant was there, and she was very much given stank face side eye. And of course, Kandi and Sanya show up, and she's there trying to pitch the whole clean eating meal prep situation to them. When Sanya brings up the conversation again about the assistant, and in walks Drew's hubby, because he overhears them, and of course he tries to explain the whole massage incident to them, because of course she shared that there was this text message about wanting to come give him a massage. Like I told y'all, she was having diarrhea of the mouth. So he pretty much, comes in, and Kandi and Sonya pretty much give him the third degree, and they kind of it's just kind of left up in the air. Next, we are at the gala, okay, for Marlo's launch of La Archive. Now, first of all, the ladies are shading her because it is literally spelled L-E and then the word archive. When Sanya shares that she took French and it's spelled L apostrophe archive. Okay, but I digress. Now, when Marlo shows up, well, let me go back. When everyone shows up to the event space, it's beautiful. It's over the top. We saw a few celebrities there in the building. All the ladies, of course, arrived, but of course, no Marlo. Okay? Kenya showed up, and then, Drew was definitely not really here for it because in previous seasons, they didn't hit it off so well. But Drew did attempt to break the ice with her over at the ballroom bar. And, Kenya said she was pretty much willing to start over with her. So Marlo finally arrives, and the girls are very unimpressed with the gala. Like, literally, Sheree and Sanya try to go over and pull Marlo to the side and let her know that, the girls are complaining. In particularly Kenya was dropping straight shots, okay? She was being petty boots about the whole situation. And Marlo comes over in such Marlo fashion, and she gets everybody together. She pretty much nice nasty cusses the girls out. and she storms back off to go cater to her guests, calling them basic bees and accusing them of not understanding couture fashion. So then, of course, Kandi again brings up the fact that Drew's man is still communicating on social media with that assistant who Drew assured them all communication had ceased. Okay, and that is pretty much where episode 1 ended, guys. So, did you all get a chance to see this episode? And if so, what are your thoughts? I am actually thoroughly impressed and pleased so far. I think it's just the right amount of spice, just the right amount of drama, and I can't wait to tune in every Sunday. You all drop down in the comments below and let me know what your thoughts are. Until next time, guys, this is Pandy of Pandy's Hair, Kandi and More. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you did not remember to do so on your way coming in, please be sure to blow dry on that like button for me on your way out. And if you really enjoyed this content and this commentary, please make sure that you share and make sure you subscribe. It is free 99 after all. It doesn't cost you anything. Until next time, guys, stay safe, stay encouraged, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.